Welcome back. Welcome you. Come on in. So good to talk to you again. I I've been so busy at work this past week just because with Mother's Day we get really busy at the spa. Obviously, everyone's coming in to get massages and everybody has a gift card and so on and so forth. So it's been a while. Um, my last video I posted was my book review, my book recommendations of the month. I definitely want to keep doing that every single month. So check that out if you haven't seen it already. And I just wanted to check in and chit chat with you guys because, yeah, I feel like it's been a while. And I finally caught up with Miss Amberlynn and I just want to talk about it with you guys because the last two videos I saw, which was the what I eat in a day and then it was like the answering questions one, like the interview, the sweet and sour, whatever that is. And that one in particular, that video, um, was really sad to watch for me, honestly, because as you guys know, I don't know, I don't know what I've been, but I've really wanted to see Amber improve and um, be better. And based on what I saw in that video, it's not really happening. Like she just came across so incredibly smug. Like it was hard to watch. And I think she was also stoned, probably, or whatever, Delta 8, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is. I heard it's like synthetic weed or something. But either way, it was coming off so bad and so gross. And she had such weird mean girl energy. And she kept bringing up Beck, which is so bizarre to me. And I think that comes from wanting to kick Beck when they're down sorry, because of what Beck has gone through with their fiance, and that must be very difficult for them. And yeah, it just seems like Amber is trying to kick them when they're down, like I said. And now that they're kind of away from the internet, she feels like she could just drag them through the mud because that's what she does to most people. And it seems like she's doing the same exact thing to Zach, because Zach Michael hasn't been making videos about her either. Just kind of minding his biz, keeping his peace. And he has such a fun, amazing personality that he could literally react to anyone and we would all watch, right? That's Amber doesn't like to admit that, but it's true. Zach Mike has a following because of his wonderful personality. And yeah, so it just seems like she's really just being a mean girl. It's really mean girl energy to the max. And she's trying to flip the script and pretend that Beck is poking her somehow, and it was always the other way around. And I always think back to the video she did about the proposal, when Beck proposed to her. And it was clear in that video that Amber was trying to embarrass them, like no question about it. That's why she told that story in that really unsavory way, right? And that was poking the bear. That and the many other times she would bring up Beck for no reason, and she just it just sucks. It's like just leave Beck alone at this point. Haven't they been through enough with you? Truly. Um, and the only reason Beck came to the internet and kind of spilled your beans is because you wouldn't leave them alone. And a lot of Beck's content actually had nothing to do with Amber for a long while. We just like tuning in for Beck's art and whatnot. And Amber doesn't have any of that, it seems like, to offer her audience. All she has is talking about exes and being mean. And it just makes me really sad. And then, she's like, everyone's been telling me my hair looks so good. And oh, sorry, Banjo. My hair looks so good. And even my mom was like, what are you doing? Your hair is so nice. It's like, and then she doesn't tell us what she does to her hair. Like, she doesn't even add that. She's so busy yapping about Beck. We don't even get to hear her amazing hair care secrets, apparently. Like, isn't that something fun that we could do? We'd have girls talk about our hair and be like, oh, I use this product or I use that or this shampoo conditioner is great. Like, she doesn't even give us that information. And she's just sitting there the whole video. She's like, in her smug, like, sort of condescending way. And it was just like, oh, it was so hard to watch. I was like, yeah. My Mother's Day request was to be left alone in peace. That's for me personally something that I just needed a day just for myself, and my husband happily let me have that. And so that's when I did my Amberlynn Reid catch up, was like Saturday night after I got out of work. And I was just so disappointed. I was really, really disappointed with what I was hearing. And a lot of the questions that she got for the interview or whatever it's called, um, it was more praise, just like, I love you, girl. You're so great. Like, there was no hard hitting questions. No one being like, hey, what's going on? When are you going to give Beck their money? Or if you're going to talk about Beck, like, at least, pay them what they're owed, right? And just like, I just love you so much. You're just so great. It's like, all right, how many times do we have to hear people just praise you the entire time? Like, can we get to like if we're going to talk about this kind of stuff, like, let's get down and dirty. Let's talk about it. And it was just embarrassing, honestly. It was really embarrassing for her. That's Nightmare Before Christmas shirt. Just looking all smug. And I love the Nightmare Before Christmas, okay? Like, don't ruin it for me, girl. But yeah, I'm so disappointed. And then to move on, I'm sure I'll have more to say. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to the first video, but um, for her, what I eat in a day, it seemed like things were a little bit better. Like maybe she was making better choices. She went to the bingo hall and she got a salad. It was like no joke, a bunch of cheese with fried chicken on top, and I probably saw like 4 pieces of lettuce, like literally 4 pieces of lettuce. Which like I'm not judging you, girl. Like I don't I don't really like salad. Like I rarely ever have a salad. I just think it's boring and I feel like a freaking herbivore, just like munching on leaves and stuff. Like so boring. Like there's other healthy foods that you could get. And also you just don't have to eat while you're at bingo. I imagine. Like how long are they there? I wonder. I've never played bingo. So I wouldn't know, but I mean, are you there like all day long that you like need sustenance, you know? Like it doesn't it seems kind of silly to even have to eat. Like maybe just drink some water, drink your Diet Coke or whatever else they serve there. Have a soft drink. So that was funny, honestly. And I guess yeah, it is better than getting a. I think last time we saw What I Eat in a Day, she got like a burger and like a big thing of potato wedges. So it is a better choice, no doubt about it. If since she's trying to lose weight, but I just thought that was kind of funny that it was like, very interesting looking salad. And then she got salmon for dinner, I think, which is good. It just, I think it was also a takeout meal, which I just would love to see her cook more at home. I would love to encourage her to cook more at home. I made a video here on this channel where I made an Amberlynn inspired dinner for my family. One of the things that she had cooked recently, and one of her What I Eat in a Days, and it was really fun. And I would like to do more of that. So I would love to see her cook for herself. And the more she cooks, and right, didn't she just buy all this like cookware and stuff? Like, go try it out, girl. Just go experiment in the kitchen. I think that would be really interesting to watch. I'm not much of a baker myself, but this weekend on Sunday, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yesterday, I made donuts, like homemade donuts for the first time, and they came out great. And I had no idea what I was doing. I think it's just fun to get in there and experiment. And maybe next time I decide to make something random I've never made before, I'll bring you along with me and we can have fun. But yeah, I just think, yes, it's good that you're making better choices, but yeah, I'd really encourage her to um, cook more for herself. Give it a try. And I feel like she has a lot of time on her hands. Like if anything, like she should be cooking more. But oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. She went on this big long spiel about protein because I guess people were saying that she doesn't need protein supplements, and they are right. She does not need protein supplements. She's not doing anything that would require her to consume extra protein. I think what she should be focusing on is getting protein from whole food sources, right? I think that's something that when you're on a weight loss journey is super important, and less so getting in protein shakes or protein bars. Worry about the chicken, worry about the nuts, worry about, broccoli has protein, did you know? Um, yeah, like whole food source protein is definitely something she should be focusing on. And she's like, oh, I don't want to lose muscle. And it's like, well, then you should start lifting some weights if you don't want to lose muscle, as well as focusing on whole food protein sources, right? Like I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that, but I just like logically speaking, right? Like that's what people typically do when they're trying to lose fat. And she can get some weights at home and just like pump it, just lift some weights, maybe do some pedaling on that pedal thing that Jade got her. Does she still have that? Those things are going to help you keep what muscle you do have. Not so much like a think thin protein bar. Like that's not really gonna do it for you. And most of that stuff tastes bad anyway. Like to be honest, all those protein supplements are kind of gross, uh, in my opinion. At least I do like the Fairlife protein shakes. Sometimes those are a nice meal replacement. Like if you can't get to breakfast or you're just not that hungry in the morning, drinking one of those is great, I think. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do know a little bit about nutrition. I'm getting a nutritional degree. I'm on pause currently just because I get easily overwhelmed. I had a lot going on, but um, so I do know some things about nutrition, but I'm not by any means a professional. This is just like from my personal experience, right? Things that I've learned throughout my life that have helped me with my health and um, just to feel better. I just think anything that's overly processed is not something you want to like make a staple in your diet. But anywho, she did try those like sour grape things that I have seen them at the store. They're like frozen grapes, but they have like a candy coating around them, and I guess whatever works. It's not actual candy, and it's kind of hard to overdo it on those things because I think they are really sour. But she also said she had a king size almond joy, which I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like I had a donut today, but I just, yeah, I mean, just don't buy that stuff. Like I think the thing about a weight loss journey is if you have that stuff around, you're going to eat it, no question about it. And I know it's especially hard for me because like all my daughter's delicious little snacks, I'm like, but like it's hers, it's not mine. I don't want to like take. She has to take those things to school and this, that, and the other thing. But yeah. So for Amber, I would just say like, don't buy it. You don't need to have king size almond joys in your house. Like it's no big deal. If she actually wants to lose weight, I just want to say like I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with being fat. I think um, how we view fat people in the world is pretty horrible, and I do think fat phobia is real. I think the level of obesity that Amber is at is life threatening and taking a toll on her health, obviously. Nobody has to have a perfect, beautiful body. Nobody does, to be honest. So, like I said, I just want to see her get better and get off the cycle because it seems like the cycle is like moving even faster at this point. Like we're going through the stages a lot faster. So that's interesting, to say the least. But yeah, I just was really disappointed about the attitude more than anything. She just seemed rude and the energy was weird and she was so smug and it was like, oh, it was like icky. It's almost like I couldn't even finish the video. I was like, ew, the way she's talking about people is so horrible. And the way she's talking to people, and I think somebody asked, was like, do you think this is like acceptable behavior for a 34-year-old? She was like, yeah, yes, I do. And like, there's nothing wrong with being immature, nothing inherently wrong with it. And she's immature for sure, but it's like in a very like sad, stunted, like emotionally immature kind of thing, where it's actually affecting how she interacts with people. Like it's one thing to be an immature, silly little goose and have a childlike zest for life or something, but that's not really what Amber has. It's emotional immaturity to the max, and it's something that she could work on in therapy if she wanted to, if she's actually in therapy. And I think a lot of people with childhood trauma are more prone to that type of behavior, to being emotionally stunted in some ways. So, I don't know. It's definitely something that she could work on, right? So not be so mean, not be so like high school bully. That's what it was giving to the max. It was kind of triggering, to be honest. Um, and yeah, somebody asked her like, or said like, you really don't know how beautiful you are, do you? You really don't know. And like, I feel like if anybody knows how beautiful they are, it's Amber. Like I used to think that she was putting up a front because like deep down she was really insecure, but I don't even know if that's true anymore. I don't even know if I feel that way about that anymore because just the way she was like looking at herself like in the camera and like she was like, society tells me I'm fat, gross, and disgusting. It's like, girl, you don't think that about yourself. Like obviously you don't. And just take a trip to her TikTok one of these days if you ever get the chance. Like the way she like acts, like she's like acting almost. It's like they're all like a performance in some way. Um or like when she's like dancing along, or um whatchamacallit, like lip syncing to a song. Is that what you call it? And yeah, no, she's just like, like just totally feeling herself and like so clearly very confident. I mean, she posts it on the internet, like, yeah. I mean, Amber must really think she's the bee's knees, the most gorgeous person ever. Like, I was wrong. I admit it, I was wrong. I don't think she's covering up for any deep rooted insecurity about her physical appearance. I mean, she thinks her face card is never declined by God. There was one more thing I wanted to mention. Oh, yeah. Somebody asked her how she deals with like embarrassment, like embarrassing clips on the internet of her, like the beanbag in a hurry thing. That it's just like silly. Like that guy might not have even said that, or probably wasn't even talking about Amber. But it just like became something in the universe, right? And it's just silly anyway. Um, and I think the question was something like, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you deal with embarrassing things? Like, I'd like have my head up in the sand if that happened to me. And I don't really. Amber answered in some silly, stupid way, but I think, and Salty Crab, I think, talked about this, that Amber doesn't really seem to experience embarrassment or shame. Like, that doesn't seem to be something that she is capable of feeling, because I, just based on what she's put out onto the internet, it's clear she's not embarrassed of her behavior. I don't think she ever thinks she's in the wrong, and that's part of it. Like, I don't know. It's just hard to explain, but she's definitely not embarrassed. Definitely not. And it's also interesting because one thing that I learned from my like kind of traumatic childhood was shame. That was something I learned really early. And I've had to like really work through feelings of shame about myself. Like, I have a really hard time putting myself out there. Like, I'm just like, oh, every time I talk after I have a conversation with someone, I'm like, I am so embarrassing. Like, that was like the worst. That was the worst interaction ever. Or anytime I speak up, or just say anything in general, I'm like, I'm so embarrassing and I'm such a shameful mess. Um, yeah, something that is just deeply ingrained in my psyche for sure. So it's interesting that Amber doesn't seem to have that feeling, despite the fact that she has had such a difficult childhood. Um, yeah. Oh my God, it was just. I guess I just wanted to get on here and rant about it because I really am feeling not hopeful for her at this point. Like, I don't even really care about the weight loss. Like, who does at this point, right? It's been 11 years of like very minimal weight loss. I think people will finally have a reaction to it when there's like some substantial weight loss that happens, or something like that. Like, she actually gets weight loss surgery, or she actually goes into inpatient to deal with her disordered. I don't want to say that, to deal with her emotions around food and eating and all that. And I think she included this in her "What I Eat in a Day." It was like, how are your emotions around food? And that statement right there is interesting, right? Because you really shouldn't have any emotions around food. It's just food, So there you go. That's like a red flag to me, that maybe she should bring that up to her therapist, that like food makes her feel these emotions or not feel certain emotions, and maybe find ways to take the emotion away from eating. Just a suggestion. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a professional anything. Just seeing what I see and commenting on it. But yeah, Amber, what are we gonna do with her? It's like I was saying, it's not about the weight loss. And when she does something substantial, she goes to inpatient, whatever it is. Then we'll be like, all right, cool. Like, now we're getting somewhere. We're actually making progress, and that's great. But until then, I think what she needs to work on is her attitude, and she really needs to get an attitude check, and try being a nicer person, and try seeing things from other people's perspective, as opposed to just making herself the victim all the time and then acting really condescending, like everybody is stupid and she's the only smart one out there in the world. That's what it was giving. So anyway, that's my update on Amber. That's my finally getting around to talking about how things are going over there in the Amberverse. And I'm always going to be tuning in. I'm always going to be here talking about it. But yeah, it was a really tough watch, and I'm really disappointed. And I hope things get better. I hope we see some progress. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Um, yeah, but anyway, happy Monday, guys. It's a gorgeous day here in Massachusetts. I hope you guys are having similar weather. And that's that. That's all I got for you. Just me rambling for 20 minutes about Amber. But thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, maybe drop a like, a comment, subscribe. I don't know, just if you want to. I don't really care. But anyway, I hope I talk to you guys soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye. Bye bye.